Hello all, my name is Condo-Olvera and welcome to my channel. This is part 2 of my third episode of Quarantinterviews with Chloe Brown. Chloe is incredible and she is studying musical theater at Carnegie Mellon University. If you want to check out part 1, I'll put that in the description below and at the end of this video. I think it's something we all should do right now. It's what I'm trying to do through this YouTube channel. I feel super grateful that Dell XPS is supporting me in doing so, and so I highly recommend you guys check Dell XPS out. That technology is very much built for creative people and innovators. So if you guys are interested in that, I would highly recommend you check it out. Without further ado, enjoy the interview. How would you say CMU is in terms of like diversity? Like, do you feel you were supported? Do you think your experience was very different as a Black woman?
Oh, I definitely think my experience was different as a Black woman, but I think that I think any Black woman going to any school is going to find that. I think being Black at my school was challenging, mostly because a lot of our training is like very Western European, like old men. So it's like kind of not really like made for Black people or people of color at all, for that matter. And that's something that and I think one of the really great things to come out of this like past summer of like just kind of global injustice, and not that this is not new whatsoever, but it feels like people are very charged and have a lot of fire to change things more than I've seen before. And I think that starts at your local level, your school level. And I think, we definitely talk to our teachers, and I'm sure a lot of other schools had that same thing where they're like, okay, like, since we're talking about this politically, like, it would be stupid of me to not say anything about what I've experienced at school. And yeah, so I've had my experiences. I've had lots of weird things. I've been called the wrong name before. I've been mistaken for another Black student plenty of times. I've been, given monologues about like trauma and pain only before. And, you kind of just have to say something. And I think that was one thing that if I could say like one thing I'll pat myself on the back for this whole year, is that I did not let anything slide at all. I was very, very adamant about like, okay, I'm paying for my education, so I'm not going to put up with mistreatment or disrespect, racism, microaggressions coming like left and right. And I was very vocal. And I'm really, really happy with, I think, where our school is headed and where we're going. I think there's more effort on behalf of like the hiring staff to like bring in more Black women, people of color, women of color into our space, because that's something we don't really have much of. We are very, I think a lot of the students are also just kind of like tired of like classes that are very catered to like white people, as far as like the types of text we're learning and the types of scenes we're being asked to do and the dance training we're being given. It's like, why are we learning ballet and tap and everything, but really not really recognizing any like African or island influences into these dance styles, which is like very prominent. So I feel like, yeah, there are Black students at the school, but that doesn't really do anything when you don't really have a lot of Black staff, or when your training is catered towards like white old people. So I'm really happy with like how everyone is very revved up and wanting something new. And I think our school like is also like ready for something new, and realizes that like you can't hang on to a name and the legacy, because those things are not real and they don't really, they're arbitrary. And like what's gonna keep this school being a good school is change.
The student body is aware of this, and the faculty, would you say they've responded well to like the vocalization on behalf of the students?
I think you're always gonna have like some teachers who like really, really listen and like are really good at caring about their students and wanting their students to feel happy, safe, comfortable. And then you are gonna also have teachers, professors, people in positions of power that aren't as willing to listen. And so they're old and they kind of want things to stay the way they've been for the past 20 years, you know, plus that they've been teaching. And, you know, to that, I say, whatever. It's not like, I don't care. I'm not gonna like not say anything because you're not ready to listen. I think your entire experience growing up is being told that like sometimes things are gonna happen and you're not gonna be ready for them, but you gotta get ready. Or you gotta be comfortable not being comfortable, stuff like that. So yeah, I would say there are enough staff that care and that really want change to make change happen. I do think that. And, you know, we just appointed some of our professors to serve as like, I think a temporary head until we get a new head of the School of Drama. And I'm really happy with the people that are going to be like running this place in the meantime. I'm like really happy with it. And I think they're all those people that I'm talking about when I say like ready for change, wanting things to be better. So yeah, I wouldn't say like, you know, there was straight up abuse or anything like, you know, that egregious, but it was definitely time for people to start speaking up. I know a lot of schools are doing that. Like their PACE is doing this really great like video series talking about like their experiences going to the school. And I think it's time. So
For sure.
It doesn't really matter if they're ready at all.
Do you have any advice for like both Black students and just students of color in general auditioning for Carnegie Mellon?
I do. I would say, please, I think and I know this sounds so cliche and like, it's not really what anyone wants to hear. But because I know I was like, are you kidding me? Like whenever people kept saying this over and over, but it's really a matter of being yourself. And I know like, you're like, okay, well, I don't really know who that is. So I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, but it's really like, as far as the material you do, what you wear, the attitude you come in with, just like anything they ask you to prepare, write, do, just like something that makes your heart sing, like something that makes you so joyous and like happy and excited and inspired. I really would advise anyone to shy away from being the kind of student you think they want, especially when it comes to people of color. I think a lot of us can fall into the trap of like, okay, well, like this is probably what they're expecting me to do or what they want me to do. So like, this is what I'm going to do, even though this isn't really what I want to be doing at all. And that can go in any direction. I think it's important to really, really just do you, like really do you, and lean into what makes you different, what makes you cool, what makes you special, and don't try to water yourself down for them. Because if and I had this experience too, if you audition for a school with like a monologue that's like really like shows off a very unfiltered, radicalized version of yourself, and a school doesn't really respond well in the audition room, like, you know, okay, this wasn't going to work out anyway. So thank you for saving me the time and energy of like considering trying to come here, you know? And I think it's really important to like, I don't know, lean into the parts of yourself that you think that that are going to make them uncomfortable or going to make them whatever. Like it's not about being what you think they want. You can't read their minds. And to be honest, they don't know what they want. Like that's one thing I realized. They don't know what they want at all. They are really grasping at straws. They want you to be good. When the next person that comes in, they are like, please be someone that can be in our school. Like, please. So I feel like it's really just a matter of like, okay, so F it, do what you want, you know? And I really would advise anyone to do that.
I think that's great advice. And I agree with like college is such a huge investment. If you're pretending to be someone you're not, and then you end up like paying these ridiculous amounts of money a year.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much it's been so nice chatting with you. I miss you so much, Issa.
I miss you too. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the interview. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. And thank you, Jel, for supporting me in creating this content.